Hey guys, it's Ray from BinaryNetwork.us. In this video, I'm going to go over the MT30 and show you guys a little bit of tips and advice and what to look out for when you're using the MT30. It's a very cool indicator that we just released, and I'm going to show you it really fast and show you exactly the difference between the big arrows and the small arrows. Okay, so let's go ahead and find something that's more of an up or down trend. Right now we're in an uptrend, 62% uh, uptrend, and then we got a 75% downtrend going on. So obviously, if you're going to do a trade, it has to be a short trade. It can't be a very long trade because we're going overall is going upwards, and our M15 is saying we're going down. So as you can see right here, this big arrow that just showed up right now is showing us that we're entering a bear zone. We're entering a selling zone. So whenever you see a big arrow, it doesn't necessarily mean take it. Okay, because it's going to fluctuate, as you can see. When it fluctuates, there's going to be times where the arrow is going to show up. It might not stay or whatever. This kind of arrow is our guideline. Okay, so that's very important to remember. Our big arrows are the guidelines. So obviously, if we see a big arrow right here, it says we're entering the selling zone, and then we saw another big arrow here, so it's obvious that it wasn't much going on. It looked like maybe it came back up and then starting to come back down. So this is our guidelines. Okay, so if ever you see a big arrow pointing up or pointing down, that's meaning we're entering a selling zone or buying zone. Now, the small arrows are the arrows that you can take advantage of. Okay, those are the small arrows are typically matched up with the big arrows. Therefore, if you're seeing a big arrow saying we're going in a selling zone, then we're going to start looking for some selling entry points. Of course, referencing with this as well, confirming with the trend. So that's very important. Confirm with the trend first before you even look at these arrows. That's the way I do it. I look at the trends. What am I going to do? Am I going to do a short trade or long trade? Okay, so if I'm going to do a short trade, it's 75% right now, so it's obvious that I would have to do a very quick trade. In this case, I would take maybe a 10-minute trade or something, as long as I get a small arrow. However, longer trades is, well, the way I do it. And let me find a better chart I can show you guys. Okay, so in this kind of chart right here, there's a couple things that happen. First of all, we had a big arrow with a small arrow in there, meaning there was a couple things already that set off this alert. First of all, we're going into a selling zone, hence our MACD. Obviously, we're going into a selling zone. Another thing is the small indicator popped off, meaning there was some strong selling power right there at the moment. So there was pretty strong downwards movement. Okay, so whenever we see the small arrows pointing up or down is when we're seeing some strong up or down movement, and these are going to be going off after the big arrows. So therefore I like cross-referencing them. So therefore if I see a big arrow saying we're going downwards, now I'm going to start looking for some small arrows so I can start jumping in some and taking some trades. If we see a big arrow pointing upwards, that means we just had a big dip into a upwards trend. As you can see right here, we didn't have a big up arrow at all. Therefore, this small little indicator that just came out, I'm going to ignore it, okay, because it just set off because there was not really a big shift of movement into the upselling. So it's obviously just easing its way up, okay. So now these kind of arrows I would just ignore and wait till I'm pretty sure that we have some positive movement, and then I'll take them. I'm not saying they're winners or losers. They're just, these are kind of trends that you would actually want to stay away from. As you can see, 37% upwards, 25% downwards. It's obvious that there's going to be some signals going off, in different moments. We're going to look at the AUD USD now. This one right here, we had a big arrow going upwards. Okay, like I said, these big arrows typically you don't really have to take them. Okay, these are just guidelines that I use, and you can't. I've taken them before, and I've got mixed results with them. These are my guidelines. So therefore, I had a big arrow saying we're going upwards, and then a big arrow saying we're going downwards. So obviously there was a shift in the market. Okay, so obviously I'm going to stick with the last one, which was a big down arrow. So now I'm assuming we're going to go ahead and start. We're going to start being in the selling zone. We're going to be in the bearish zone, if you will, and I can confirm that along with my M60. So it's obvious that we're going downwards at the moment. Overall, 62% downwards. So this isn't the type of trade I would, or this isn't the type of currency pair I would look at as far as a long day, or 10 hours. This is something I would probably look at for maybe a few hours or something. Depending on what's going on here, and especially since I'm in the M5, I would not even take a long trade. I would be using my M30 for that. But as far as the M5 right now, it's obvious that we're in a downwards movement, unless we see a huge up arrow that might come up pretty soon, because it's looking like we are going to start pushing into the selling or in the buying zone. So if there's a big up arrow, which it should probably take off eventually, because you can see 50-50. So it's obvious neutral trend. I don't recommend anybody trading in neutral trends anyway. So I'm just trying to show you in real time, see if it pops up right now, because if we start going into buying zone, then we're going to use that guideline for our small trades. We're going to be looking for some up trades. So the MT30 is pretty cool, because what it's doing is keeping us it's keeping us on track with up and down trends. It's keeping us in little safe zones. And the longer you go with it, of course, you're gonna start seeing, especially if you watch our other videos and our live hangouts. I showed you guys some very cool pointers on how to jump in your own trades. So you're gonna be able to see sometimes some things that indicators won't pick up. So therefore, make sure you watch those videos, and take some pointers there. Let's go ahead and find something else. Alright, so it's obvious that we entered a uptrend here, as you can see, and 62% uptrend. Of course, this was a while ago, so I don't know exactly what it would have been here. However, we're in 100% M60, so therefore in our hour charts we are moving upwards. 62% here, so it's clear that I can rely on this one right here. Can rely on this, plus my moving average is looking upwards. So these small trades are trades that I could look into. As long as everything else meets up fine, I could take these trades. So remember, the big arrows are pretty much our guidelines. If you see things like this, fluctuation really fast, it was obvious that there was a high buying zone right here, and it all of a sudden just went back down to a selling zone, and it's obvious that we're probably going to start hitting a neutral zone. And that's the reason why, like I said, again, I'm in the M5 right now, so I'm going to go ahead and go to the M30, because the M30 is a lot more reliable for me. You guys also need to watch out for news, as you can see. This arrow right here is showing us we're going into a selling zone, which it's not lying. That's the reason why I say the big arrows are not the arrows we're going to be taking our trades on. These are our guidelines, and it's not lying. We are going into a selling zone. As you can see, we're already in a below zero on our MACD, so it's obvious that we have a lot of negative movement going on at the moment. We're not going to jump in until we see a arrow. However, there's going to be some slight upwards movement right here, so it might just fluctuate back up. The market always moves, guys. Market's always going to be fluctuating. Indicators are about 50% of the work. 50% is from our brains, our confirmation, everything else. That's what makes us better traders. Since the market is so unpredictable, it's the only thing we can use is these tools to help us make better trades. And that's why I'm saying check out the live hangouts, check out the videos on there. Also follow these specific rules. The big arrows are the guidelines. Of course, if you see a big arrow jumping inside a selling zone and you see a lot of strength going on in our ADX or something, then maybe you can take it. Just for example, like this one right here. This one did jump into a buying zone, and our ADX actually crossed a 50. Okay, so it was very strong uptrend going on at the moment. So it did tick off, and it set us as a huge up a huge upwards trend. So it was something that you're gonna get better at as you go. Of course, if you saw an arrow with inside the arrow, obviously it would have been something you could take, like this one right here, and so on. So everything takes practice and some time. Of course, if you're going to do short trades like these right here, you want to make sure you pay attention to your M15 and pay attention on those, with those numbers. Make sure you're going to stick with your strong trends, your strong trends, and your longer strong trends, especially your very long strong trends. So it's very important. You guys feel free to share this video with other members if you want. And hopefully we could do some more videos on this one. I hope you guys enjoy the MT30, and I'll talk to you guys later.